Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
If you're gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hello there, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 255 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices, not only of podcasts, but things to do today. So I sincerely appreciate you making my podcast one of your choices for today. If you're enjoying this podcast, then I would love you to take a screenshot and share it on your socials and maybe tag me, because it'd be super cool to get to know you a little bit better as you get to know me a little bit better listening to this podcast. Of course, the show notes can be found for this podcast. If there's anything that I say you think, oh, I'd like to dig a little bit further into that. Of course, today we are talking all about growing your Facebook presence. And you can find the show notes at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/255. Before I get started, though, just a couple of little things before we dig into all the Facebook goodness. Did you get a chance to listen to last week's episode? My guest was Peta Dee, and her insights into having an ideas vault and her idea around imagination capital were just really fabulous. It was such a great chat. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that one, then head back there. And of course, just a shout out to this week's sponsor before we start. This week's sponsor is Selladash. Selladash actually develops high quality e-commerce apps and modules to boost profit, increase conversions, and save you time. With over 20 years experience solving real world problems in the e-commerce space, their specialty is actually in freight and shipping. So if you're in that e-commerce space, then I would highly recommend that you nick over after you finish listening to this and check out Selladash. You can find them at all the W's, selladash.io, and see how they might be able to save you some time and, of course, make you more money by streamlining your business. And finally, one more thing just before we get into all the Facebook, I just wanted to tell you about my 4-week email masterclass that's coming up in September. If email marketing is something that you've had on your list to learn and develop and implement into your business, then my 4-week program in September might be just what you're looking for. You can take a look at all the details by heading to the link. The link is bit.ly, so bit.ly/masterclass with Jen. So, on to today's episode. I was scrolling the other day through Facebook and I came across this post in a Facebook group that asked for tips and tricks on how to grow your Facebook presence these days, in inverted commas. It was a really interesting post, and clearly I thought it was interesting enough because I want to make a podcast episode out of it. But it was interesting because I think a lot of us small business owners have given up on Facebook for business. We think our target audience isn't there. We think Facebook is dead. We don't pay much attention to it anymore. But I think the reality is actually quite different. And if this is you, if you think that Facebook is actually a waste of space or a waste of your marketing collateral, then I would really encourage you to go to your Google Analytics and have a look where your traffic to your website is really coming from. Is it really Instagram? Is it really LinkedIn? Is it really your emails like you might think it is? Or is Facebook in your top 3? So I don't often give homework out of this podcast, but that's your homework this week, is to go and have a look at your Google Analytics and see where does Facebook rank as far as driving traffic to your website. And I would love for you to let me know. So you can send me an email, DM me, come into my Facebook group, Like-Minded Business Owners, whatever you like. But I would really like to know what you discover. But for the sake of this podcast, let's just suppose that you are keen to find out about some more ways to grow your Facebook presence and that you're still keen to give Facebook a go. So below is a mixture of tips from the Facebook post that I mentioned above and also some of my own. Now, I do have to admit that I made a bit of a whoopsie when it comes to this when it comes to the fact that I wrote down the responses from this Facebook post, that I didn't actually get the people's names. I didn't actually write the names down of the people. So I can't credit some amazing people out there that responded to this Facebook post. And I promise to do better next time. But these are some of the comments that other people made. So, number one, daily engaging content, weekly lives focus on growth, engagement, and lead generation. That makes great strategic sense. I really liked this poster and I really liked that answer a lot. Number two, respond to every comment, engage with your audience. This is the human marketing that I keep banging on about. Great response. Number three, go live. I think this person was after my heart. Number four, make content educational, fun, and entertaining. Number five, start your email list now. If you don't have a place to send them for the next step, then they are your lost opportunities. Obviously, I love this one. Email marketing is something I'm passionate about, which is why I've decided to open up my masterclass around email marketing. So, love this person. Number six, get into small groups and promote yourself once a week on the designated promotion days, or the designated promotion days, I should say. Create a lead magnet and share that. It is slow, but it does bring in good quality leads. Perfect. I really loved that, and I think that is a really great strategy. Um, Use your profile to grow first. Now, I thought this was really interesting because by profile, they actually mean your personal Facebook. So, using your personal Facebook to grow your business. I have to say, it's a growing trend that I'm seeing more and more of. I'm open to it. How about you? Are you open to using your private Facebook to grow your business? Something that, again, like I said, I'm seeing more and more of. Number eight was run Facebook ads to your page and then invite them into your Facebook group. Great strategy if you've got a budget and if you've got a Facebook group. Number nine, go like other pages in your target audience or that make good collaborators. So people who might have the same audience as you but aren't your competition. Now, of course, this is what I call my Hansel and Gretel strategy. Basically, sprinkling your breadcrumbs everywhere. Go out there as your business name and start sprinkling your business name around this platform. Get noticed that way. I really like tip nine. Tip number 10, you'll be surprised. Just keep creating content. People are watching, they're just not liking and commenting. This is really good advice and something I think more people need to be aware of. Think of how you use social media. Do you comment and do you like much? Probably not. So this is probably going to be true for your audience as well. Just because your content isn't getting lots of likes or lots of comments doesn't mean that people aren't engaging with it, aren't reading with it, and aren't, keeping you top of mind. So something to think about with when it comes to the reach of your posts as well. Don't oversell was number 11. Good advice. Number 12, if you have a group, don't forget to tell people on other platforms that you have a group and invite them to connect. I have to say, this has been a bit of a nudge for me over the last couple of months is to do just this. Have this group, forget to tell other people that I have this group, other than, of course, on this podcast. Number 13, and the last one was never give up. I thought that was the best advice. Never give up. We're all in this. Just ask for help. Never give up. So what would I add to these? So there's probably a few tips that I would add to these as well. I thought they were all brilliant, but some of the things that I would have added or that I did add, or I didn't add all of these because that would be like, very long post on Facebook, but I did, summarize a few of them. For me, tell more stories. If you want more traction, tell more stories. If you want more people to interact with you, tell more stories. People will do business with people they know, like, and trust, basically. And telling stories is one of the best ways to build that know, like, and trust. Stories about how you got into business, stories about what you did on the weekend, stories about why sustainability is important to you, stories about how you hate people with really powerful driving lights because they blind you as they're coming over the hills. Or maybe that's just me and the fact that I've been traveling a lot lately and I'm so tired of being blinded because people don't know that my little bad lights are coming over the hill towards them. Anyway, just tell more stories. Number two, make some interactive content such as polls and quizzes. People love to have their opinions heard. So what content are you creating that would allow them to have their opinion heard? Change your Facebook cover photo, make it amazing, and ensure it has a really strong call to action. E.g., click here to download my lead magnet. Yes, it's not a direct click, and yes, they'll have to, they'll get shown the Facebook cover, and then they'll have to click from there. But it's definitely clickable. So, I think changing out that according to the seasons of your business is such a really great strategy. Give some behind the scenes content. Refer to my point number one as to why you would do that. People love to get to know, like, and trust you. Number five, be strategic at getting your customers to help market your business with some UGC content. So, UGC content is user generated content. How are you encouraging people who already buy from you to give you shout outs on social media, whether it's a dress that they bought or a course that they bought or one-to-one marketing that they do with you, whatever that looks like? How are you actually encouraging them to create content, tag you, so you don't have to create that content? And of course, your love gets spread further into, of course, their audience. Number six was showcase and highlight followers and clients. Have a fan of the week or something like that, or a client of the week. Be really generous with your platform. If you have an audience who would like to know one of your clients because, they would get some value from that client, then be really generous. I am in a couple of speaking groups, and one of my clients is actually a speaking coach. So, I'm pushing some of her content over into those groups because, yes, they will get really good value out of what she is talking about, but, she might get some business out of it as well. So be generous, highlight the people that are in your world. Maybe number seven was perhaps doing some AMA. So ask me anything posts. Again, be generous with your time and responses. And of course, number eight was looking out for great collaborations and partnerships. So collaborating and partnering with people who aren't your competition but have the same audience as you. But the most important thing for me, and what I would like you to do as well, is really just to produce that high quality, engaging content and use social media such as Facebook to get people off Facebook with an amazing lead magnet that they're prepared to give their email address for. Like, the number one reason why you should be on social media is to get people off social media. Social media is a really great place to meet new people, but your email list is the best place to be nurturing them until they're ready to buy or till they're buying again. AKA, or hence, I should say, why I'm doing my 4-week email marketing masterclass. So that are just some tips to help grow your Facebook in 2023 and beyond. There's nothing earth shattering, but before you brush these tips aside and think, well, Jen, I've actually tried them, Facebook isn't for me, there's nothing there that would have helped me today. Would really nudge you and say, have you? Have you really tried them? Have you consistently gone live giving great value or doing Ask Me Anything lives? Have you consistently shown up week after week and giving value in Facebook groups full of your ideal clients and customers, as well as perhaps selling on the days that you're actually allowed to? Yeah, I would consider this episode a bit of a nudge for you because I think sometimes we think we've tried everything, but the reality is really quite different. Or maybe you're shouting at me right now because I've missed like something. You're like, how about this, Jen? If you think that I have missed something, or if you have, some really great knowledge to share, then I would love you to jump into the Facebook group, Like-Minded Business Owners, and share the love over there. Share your tip or your trick on how to grow your Facebook over there. That would be amazing. But that's it for episode 255. If you loved this episode and found it valuable and have an extra 10 seconds in your day, I would really love for you to leave a rating and review, if that's possible, where you are listening to it. One of the goals of mine this year is to reach more people with this podcast. And of course, you can help me achieve that by leaving a rating and a review. I will see you next week for podcast episode 256. Thanks again for Seller Dash for sponsoring today's episode. If you are in e-commerce or you have a friend who is in e-commerce, check out sellerdash.io, because besides listening to this podcast today, it could be the best thing you do for your business. Don't forget to check out all the details of my email marketing masterclass as well at bit.ly/masterclass with Jen. Of course, all the show notes, all the links that I've said can be found in the show notes at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/255. But in the meantime, if we're not hanging out on social, let's get social on social. You'll find me on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, LinkedIn. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peeps, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.